Hey, it came today. This guitar that I don't see any real reviews of on YouTube yet. So I figured I'd be the test dummy, and I am. So what is it? It's a Glarry. It is a very familiar looking style, right? It's not unlike the famous Gibson ES335. What it is it's a semi-hollow body electric guitar. The model is GIZ101. GIZ101. Fairly new model for Glarry. Glarry's known to be making the inexpensive Strat-style guitars that a lot of folks have reviewed. Bass guitars, you name it. Acoustic guitars. I think this is their first entry into semi-hollow ES335 style. They also make a semi-hollow Telly style guitar. So, let's talk about the guitar. Good, bad, and the ugly, right? So first off, let's start off on a positive note. What is nice about the guitar? Well, what struck me was I liked this sunset color they call, right? Which is like a cherry sunset guitar. Cherry around the sides, that yellow in the middle. Kind of attractive. I also like the fact that it has these nice shaped horns, a little bit different than all the other copies, the Groats and the Fireflies that are out there that have those Mickey Mouse ear and semi-Mickey Mouse ear type horns. These are a little bit different, right? They're pointed almost, which I like. A little bit more like the Ibanez model guitars, the Art Cores. Comes with a triple ply pickguard, cheap black pickguard. The usual accoutrement of setup here. You've got 2 volume, 2 tone knobs, 3-way switch, and this interesting beast, which is a trapeze bridge. And it is extremely cheap tin that this thing is made of. And I understand that when you go to change the strings on this thing, it becomes loose and can be a problem, a challenge. But some people like the old trapeze style bridge. So, the color I like the fact that that's pretty much where it ends. Let me be honest with you. Let me cut this shit out, excuse the French. The color is nice, and even that we'll talk about. So, let's talk about the guitar first a little bit more. Basswood body, unlike the Fireflies, which are maple, and the other ES335 style guitars. Some of them, I believe, have a mahogany body. I'm not sure if Monoprice's Indios have the mahogany body guitar, but this one has a basswood body. Not a usual wood for this. It's more of an inexpensive wood for these types of guitars. It supposedly has a maple neck, back of the neck. They claim it has a bone nut on the guitar, which I'm not going to contest. It could very well be a bone nut. Here it is. That's the nut. It's a little high. The nut is a little high, and the cutting of the nut leaves a little to be desired in terms of the slots. But we'll look at that more later on. 22 frets, 9.5-inch radius, weighs about 7.3 pounds, which is similar, very comparable to what a 335 weighs. What else? Laurel fretboard on this guitar. And it comes with a couple of things. It comes with this really cheap strap and crappy picks that are thrown in. It does come with this Glarry branded 10-foot cable, which is okay. It's better than most. Better than the real cheap garbage cables that come with the guitar. This thing, I think, is actually serviceable. You could probably use this. And it also comes with a gig bag, which a lot of these ES335 style guitars like the Groats and the Fireflies don't. Some of the Groat models do, I should say, and they come with actually a better gig bag than this. I know Monoprice does, with a nice gig bag, Indio gig bag. This says Glarry on it, and it is a dust cover. It's a cheap, thin gig bag, but it does come with the guitar. Now, let's talk about the guitar. This thing had zero attention to detail when they made this thing out of China. It's a Chinese-made guitar, I believe. It has paint dripping marks all over the guitar. Now, I don't know how well you could see this with my particular camera, but right here, I don't know if you could see that. You see where I pointed to? Right here. Yeah, you can see it a little bit, right? In the camera. Do you see it there? There is an actual paint dripping mark on the guitar. It's either paint or the varnish that left a long streaky mark right about here. And again, I don't know how well you could see it or not, but in person it's very, very prevalent. Okay? It has these types of things throughout the guitar, but I'm just going to point out the real issues. Over here on the bottom of the guitar, it's completely rough, unfinished. I don't know if they failed to put varnish or whatever, but it's completely rough, sandy feeling over here. I don't know if you could see where the binding is, but it's all rough and unfinished. The back of the neck has this ugly imperfection in the wood. Do you see it? Right about there? It's very noticeable. Really disturbing looking. But again, for a cheap guitar, that's not something that I would really worry about. It's just not too pretty. It has paint drippings here at the beginning of the guitar as well. I don't know if you could see that little one at the top horn, above the pickup and above the fretboard. You'll see there's a drip mark. You can see it right there. Like I said, it has those throughout the guitar. The fret ends are okay. They're slightly sharp, but not bad. I've seen a lot worse than this. The neck itself is rough up here. Again, not finished properly. Where the binding is on the neck, it's a little rough. The neck is described as a C-neck. It is baseball bat thick, this neck, on this ES335. At least in my opinion, it's baseball bat thick. A very, very full, thick neck, which I don't particularly love, especially on a 335 style guitar. Up here, which is where the binding is, you can see there are more discolorations and damages along the binding. Can you see that over there in the corner? I'll let it focus. Right above my thumb. Again, the finishing stuff I can understand. It's a cheap guitar. But in terms of quality, out of the box, this versus a Monoprice, or a Indio, or a Firefly, they blow this away. There's no question about it. Now, it is less expensive. This was $133 where I got it on eBay, as opposed to the Firefly, which is on sale at Amazon for $160, and I believe the best prices I've seen on the Indio semi-hollows lately were about $1.99. So they're, $50, $60, $70 more than this in some cases, but well worth it. This guitar is an abortion in terms of finishing. It is just very, very crudely finished. The neck joint, you can see there's glue drips all over the place on the guitar itself. Rough spots. The wood here, like I mentioned before, has these imperfections under the varnish, these black cheap marks on the wood. It just really screams cheap guitar. Now, from an electronic standpoint, if the switches feel like any other Asian-made, import. The pots do as well. It's very sloppily done from a wiring standpoint. You can see here where the cutout is below the pickguard. You can see the wires on the guitar. They didn't even attempt to hide or tape these things back. Again, just details, right? But very, very sloppy quality control, if any, on this guitar. Really, really disappointed. I'll plug it in, let you hear what it sounds like. Okay, we'll let you hear what this guitar sounds like in a clean setting on my little 40-watt Spark amp. This is the bridge pickup, clean. now the middle position, which is the bridge and the neck pickup. Before I said bridge here, I meant to say neck. And now the last position, which is the bridge pickup, neck pickup, and the bridge pickup. Before was just the bridge. Now I've got, excuse me, I'm getting confused. We're going to start all over. This is not my day today. Okay, so neck position. Middle position, which is both pickups, neck and bridge. And finally, just the bridge. And now I'll play some individual notes in the neck position. Both pickups. And finally, just the bridge. You probably can't hear it well on the video, but trust me, in this room, muddy sounding pickups. Extremely muddy sounding. They're also a tad bit microphonic. Again, that's typical with inexpensive import guitars, but pickups, at least in the clean mode, are muddy. I'm going to put on a little distortion now. And let you hear what the pickups sound like with distortion on the guitar. Neck pickup. And now middle, which is both pickups engaged. And now just the bridge pickup. Now normally the bridge pickup is louder than the neck pickup. In this particular case, it's the opposite, right? Here's the neck. Here's the bridge. Little unusual. Play some single notes with the neck pickup. Both pickups. And finally, just the bridge pickup. Okay, guys, that's the guitar. Gotta say, not a big fan. Just because the thing doesn't feel great in the hand. Neck is way too thick in my opinion. Finishing on this guitar is horrible. Pickups sound on the muddy side. This is not a winner as far as I'm concerned. So hopefully this review was helpful to you. If you find these reviews helpful and useful, please subscribe. Any comments or any questions or anything you're curious about this guitar, fire them below in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them. Really appreciate all your support for the channel. And again, please subscribe. And until the next time, guys, be well, stay safe, have a great holiday weekend. Take care.